The glass shook faintly in my grip, the bubbles inside catching the chandelier's glow, tiny sparks that seemed to mock me. Around me, our anniversary celebration buzzed with laughter and clinking glasses, but inside, I felt nothing but emptiness, as if my chest had been hollowed out. 18 years with Laura, and all I could see was her smile aimed at another man across the room. Her auburn curls brushed her bare shoulder as she laughed at something Mark whispered. His hand lingered on her arm longer than it should have, and my stomach twisted, not from jealousy, but from the heavy certainty that my suspicions were true. I forced a polite grin at a passing guest, but my focus never left him. The late nights at work, her phone always angled away from me, the sudden change in her perfume. It had all been leading to this. I'd told myself I was imagining things, blinded by love. But now, watching her with him, I couldn't lie to myself any longer. I swallowed bitter champagne, trying to ground myself. Then her voice cut through my thoughts. "James, are you all right?" She stood at my side, her green eyes searching me, her touch warm yet foreign, like it belonged to someone else. "I'm fine," I said calmly. "Just thinking. 18 years, huh?" She gave a small laugh, but it didn't touch her eyes. "Feels like forever, doesn't it?" She raised her glass, the one she had poured for me earlier, insisting I try her special mix. Something about it unsettled me, the way she waited for me to drink, her stare heavy and expectant. "To us," she said, clinking her glass against mine. I hesitated, then set my own glass aside and reached for hers instead. "Let's switch. Yours looks better." For the briefest moment, her smile cracked, panic flashing across her face. "No, mine's nothing special," she said quickly, reaching for her glass. But I was faster. "To us," I echoed, and I drank it down. Her eyes widened, fear replacing her mask. The liquid burned down my throat, not with a bite of champagne, but with something foreign, something wrong. My vision blurred at the edges, sweat prickling my skin. She grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. "James, are you okay?" But I wasn't the one in danger. The realization struck hard. I hadn't touched my drink. I had switched them. Whatever she'd put in my glass was now inside her. "What did you do?" I asked, my voice low, trembling with rage and heartbreak. Her face paled, lips parting, but no words came. Around us, the party carried on, the jazz band's melody a cruel soundtrack to our collapse. I leaned closer, whispering harshly. What was in my drink? Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't. Don't lie to me." I snapped, too loudly, a few heads turning. I lowered my voice but kept it sharp. "You've been lying for months." "With him." I flicked my gaze toward Mark, who now stood frozen at the bar, watching. Laura's trembling hands flew to her mouth. I pressed her. "Why did you think you could poison me on our anniversary?" Her knees buckled, and she fell into a chair. "I wasn't. It was just a sedative," she choked out, clutching her stomach as pain twisted her features. Tears spilled as she gasped. "I just wanted you asleep, so I could leave with him." Her words sliced through me. My chest tightened, breath shallow, as the truth I'd feared solidified. "Leave," I whispered. "After everything, after 18 years? I didn't mean to hurt you," she sobbed. "I just don't love you anymore." The world seemed to crumble around me. The woman I had built a life with, the one I had loved through every fight and every joy, was gone. In her place was someone I didn't recognize, someone who had planned to drug me and disappear with another man. Mark stepped forward, his hands raised. "James, let's talk." "Stay away from me." I growled, my fists clenching. Laura slumped in her chair, her breathing ragged. Panic clawed at me as I realized the dose might have been stronger than she thought. I fumbled for my phone, dialing emergency services with shaking hands. "My wife's been poisoned," I told him flatly. I didn't mention that she'd meant the drink for me. The party dissolved into chaos. Guests whispered, eyes wide, while paramedics rushed in and carried Laura out. Her gaze locked with mine as they wheeled her away, pleading broken, but I felt torn apart inside. Rage, grief, guilt, love, they all collided, suffocating me. At the hospital, I sat alone in the antiseptic-scented waiting room. They told me she would survive. Just a sedative, not lethal. My hands shook as I stared at them, the same hands that had switched the glasses. I had wanted her to face the truth of her betrayal. I had wanted her to suffer the consequences. But as the adrenaline drained from me, I was left only with the wreckage of our marriage and the knowledge that I had crossed a line I could never uncross. When the doctor finally appeared, his expression was grave. "She's asking for you." I stood, heavy with dread, knowing that whatever waited in that room would change everything forever. "Would you like me to rewrite this again in a shorter, sharper version, like a thriller scene, or keep the slow burn, detailed emotional style, like this one?"